Greetings, salutations, respect, and love, boys and girls. Oh, I am Scott, and welcome to the Prog Corner, the Sunday Prog stream where we hold almost like a Sunday service here, right? It is almost a quasi-religious experience, this prog rock that we love so much. And to me personally, I am just incredibly excited that I have got the Samurai of Prog on the Prog Corner. It's crazy. Kevin from Prog Radio is with me too. Kevin, can you believe it? We've got Kimmo and Marco. Oh,
no, excited. Happy to have them here. We're big fans on Prog Radio. Play all their stuff. Love it.
Yeah, and the album in question, before I let these guys actually talk, because you know how I am, it's called The Time Machine, right? This thing came out October 25th. On Seacrest Oi, Kimmo Pörsti, Mastermind. Talk to me a little bit about this album. What's going on with it?
It was our third, and hello everybody. I'm honored to be here.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh man, we're honored to have you and Marco Grieco. This is just amazing. But
yeah, so it was our third collaboration with Marco Grieco, so we were very happy to have him, and he has composed the whole album, and it was a concept. I think it was based on the discussions between two Marcos, Bernard and Grieco, and that's how we had the concept first. And Marco Grieco, in a very short period of time, he composed the entire album, and I guess I'm
because we had
to talk about it. I'm happy with the album.
This came out earlier in the year.
Yes, last January, around January. Yes.
The Quiet Town. That's two amazing albums in 1 year. Marco, how did you compose two of the best albums of the year? That's crazy.
Thank you. I was just trying to make real some suggestions that Marco, Bernard, and Kimmo were giving to me. I'm of course both albums are with very interesting innovation idea and ideas, because the Quiet Town, it was really an experiment. I don't know if it's the result, if it's good or not, but anyway, it was an experiment. Try to just to tell a story, and without knowing who is the guilty. So to do this only with music and lyrics, it was so sure the results. But I hope that it was a good idea how it was coming. And for Time Machine was starting, yes, with the conversations between me and Marco Bernard, and was about what would happen if we could change the past, especially because it's many times in this album, it's always you can feel that it's speaking about the war and peace and so on. And so especially in these times, we were trying to imagine what happened if you could change important point of the history. And so were coming that songs in such a way. The most easy thing was just to compose after.
Well, it's a cool idea for a concept album, actually. And the concept album is certainly no stranger to the Samurai of Prog. Seems like everything is a concept album, one level or another. You mentioned this was the third. Here was the first one. First one with Marco Grieco, the Phoenix of the Anthem Star, and then there was the Quiet Town, and now this one here, man, the Time Machine. So cool, a neat way to have a concept album and still at the same time have the songs be like independent of each other, right? They can be standalone tracks, even though they fit into this whole. So I think it's a real clever concept, actually.
Yeah. Thank you. For me, it was amazing that even you can hear that the composer is the same, but how different those songs are in both albums. For me, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That they both have their own style. You can hear some Charleston or whatever swing or Dixieland influences in a quiet tone, and it's still progressive rock. And
Well,
Time Machine is quite different.
Every Samurai of Prog album really does have a totally different sound, man. Man in the Iron Mask doesn't sound anything like Imperial Hotel.
That's true.
And going all the way through. But the one thing that always you always know it's Samurai is your drumming. I mean,
yes.
I'm 30 seconds in the song and I know exactly what's going on. That's Kimmo back there, laying it down. It's a really unique sound. Talk to me a little bit about how you record your drums and why they sound different than anybody else in Prague.
Oh, thank you so much. I know extremely well my limitations as a musician. And for me, the best thing and I can ever imagine is that if somebody recognizes who is playing.
Yeah.
It's the same when I listen to some musician like Lee Ritenour or somebody guitarist plays 3 seconds and I know who is playing. Then I know it's a good thing. So if somebody can hear that I am playing, it's the best possible reward I can ever have. As nobody of us is making this for money. So thank you very much.
I'm glad you asked that, Scott, because I was thinking the exact same thing.
I'm happy to answer if you want a little bit about my recording policy.
Yeah,
because
we're just prog rock geeks here, man. I mean, what would we be doing on a Sunday? If we weren't in church, we'd be sitting around, we'd be listening to prog rock, we'd be talking about prog rock. But hey, we get to talk to the Samurai Prog and listen to a couple tracks from their new album. This is awesome, man, Kimmo. We definitely want to hear a little bit about it.
Okay, you have to go back to beginning of 70s. There are many great prog bands. Not all of them are so popular, but bands like Spring, Fantasy, Gracios, whatever. What is the common thing that usually the music is fantastic and players are pretty good, but you can hear mistakes and little out of tune here and there, but it's very human and it's very good. So that's my purpose also. When I record drums in my home studio, I try to keep the feel. I want to play the music, not the drums.
We knew we'd be lurking around, Kimmo. You see this?
I try to I try to support whoever is the solist. And my style is pretty heavy, I know, but what I do, I guess I'm quite rebel because I use compressors as little as possible, and I never use how do you say in English, this quantization.
Mm-hmm.
Some engineers in YouTube say that you must use quantization, but I never use. There are some little inconsistencies or little mistakes, but I think that belongs to the music. I would use machines if everything has to be like this. You lose the human touch. So I have been thinking that if my drumming is not good enough, then it's better just to stop and not correct it with the machines.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I just want to correct you, man. There's no mistakes. You have not made a single mistake on a single Samurai of Prog album because it's your drumming. It's your band. You play it exactly the way you hear it in your head. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. It loses the human touch when you do too much to it. And I understand why bands do it, but I like the old school way of doing it. And you were talking about like some of the older bands. I was just talking to Chip Gramillion from Lift. They just reissued their record, Caverns of Your Brain. And we talked about you covering one of his songs on that
he's very nice
album.
fellow.
So anybody that loves resurrecting, the old prog that never got its due back in the day, because it was more than just the Yes of Genesis people. It absolutely was. Yes. So I love championing the old bands like Mirth Rander and Lift and stuff like that. And the new bands that need attention, like Samurai of Prog. The new album is called The Time Machine. Kevin, You got something queued up. I want to hear some music, and then I want to talk to these guys some more. I want to hear some of this new Samurai of Prog record. I think the first one you were talking about is maybe Apes. This song features a very special guest guitar player by the name of Royna Stalt from, of course, the Flower Kings. Can we hear that?
Yeah.
one
So
first?
yes. So the first song is The Time Machine, which we're not going to play. And that's where it sets up, hey, let's invent this time machine. Let's go back in time. Let's change all the bad things that happen. He jumps in the machine, and he's heading for the very beginning with the apes. And he figures out, by the way, while he's heading there, oh, no, I don't know if I'm going to be able to change anything or not, but here I go. So here's Apes.
We are the apes, the first of our kind, wandering about the world we find. The moon in the sky, a mystery to us. Is it a fruit we cannot touch? Apes, apes, what do we know of the world around us? Its secrets to unfold. The sun, the sea, the clouds above, all puzzling, all unknown to us.
There he is.
We are the apes. We are the apes. We are the apes. We are the apes.
Are all the keyboards you, Marco?
Yes. Totally.
It's a big part of what I love about this album, I'll tell you.
The wind blows and we feel its power, but where does it come from? Hour by hour, the rain falls and we seek shelter, but why does it come? We cannot fathom, we falter. Apes, apes, what do we know of the world around us? Its secrets to unfold. The sun, the sea, the clouds above, all puzzling, all unknown to us.
Yeah, that can only be Roina Stalt. I mean, he's the only guy who can play the guitar like that. But, you know, somebody was mentioning the violins, and Marco in the Peanut Gallery chimed in that is Maria Kavalenko. Oh, man, she's all over this album. She's on, like, almost every track. Well, there's the one piano solo piece she's not on, I guess, the Mandela track. And I don't think she's on the Clive Nolan track, which will be the next one we're going to listen to. But everything else, Maria's all over, man. How did you find her?
Did you ask me?
Yeah, how did we find Maria? She is amazing. Or is that a friend of Marco's?
Yes. Marco was finding her and Serge directly from Ukraine. So it was really a beautiful thing to have musicians from that part of the world exactly during the war that it's now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Marco Bernard has
an incredible violinist.
Yes, Marco Bernard has this unbelievable talent to find very wonderful guests for us, and so it was his. I guess it was his. Yes, I wasn't quite sure if it was Marco Grieco or Bernard if you did it together, but I guess it was Marco Bernard who invited.
And you know, we like the vocalist so much that wisely he opens up the album. He sings on the first two tracks, so we must have felt pretty good about that Serge guy. Because he sounds awesome, man. Especially gets up in those higher registers.
Yes, I heard him somewhere in YouTube, and I listened that this guy is pretty good, and I think I suggested to Marco that please try to invite him, and that's how it went. He accepted, so we are very happy to have him.
And then we've got you know, a couple of the it wouldn't be a Samurai of Prog album without certain vocalists, right? And we get a couple. Bo Anders Sandstrom makes a return on this album. You've got Daniel Fault coming back. He always sounds great. But you've got a couple vocalists that we hadn't heard before, including Serge. But Christina Booth is on this album too. Just amazing. That's going to be the third track we listen to. The great Christina Booth. Kevin, you just mentioned we had just talked about her being on the latest Kite Parade album, right?
Yeah. This was the same graphic we used when we did Kite Parade.
Why not? Pam wants to know if the Samurai of Prog is a supergroup.
No. We just like to do what we do, and we just work hard. It's up to other people to decide about that, but I have never considered us as a super group. We are blessed to have super talented guests, that's for sure. Yes.
Yeah, and I was just going before we went on. I'm old school, man. I don't have these cool graphics like Kevin, but this is the list of lead singers the Samurai of Prog have had. There's 42 of them, boys and girls. 42, including, of course, Stephen Unruh, who, if there was a voice to Samurai Prog, maybe a lot of people would think about him. But John Davison, how about Fido Xavier? Just incredible. Mark Truiak, Robert Webb, Michelle Young, Alessandro Di Benedetti, Marco Vincini, who I love his voice, awesome. Bart Schwederman. I mean, the list goes on and on. John Wilkinson, who's now the singer for Ellesmere, Clive Nolan, Yogi, whom I guess we just interrupted on the simulcast on Prog Radio, right, Kevin?
Actually, his album got stuck, so the graphic didn't switch for some reason, but they're enjoying the live feed.
And you're showing just the list
of musicians and everything, not just the singers.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. Anthony Kalugin talking about great Ukrainian musicians and how we need to support them. Jonas Reingold working on the new Car Mechanic album. I'm excited about that. Matthew Parmenter just announced laying down tracks for the new Discipline album, so that's super exciting. Steve Hackett, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him before. So yeah, the list of people that have appeared on Samurai of Prog albums or sung on Samurai of Prog albums, just incredible. And this one's no different. Like we said, we just heard the track with Roy Stalt playing. The next track, we get Clyde Nolan. Oh, this thing's called E = MC squared. And honestly, when I first got the CD, you're like the kind of band I love immediately, right? I don't need to spend like hours and hours digesting Samurai of Prog to get the point. Usually I know where you're coming from. There's a point of view, and I fell in love with this thing right away. But there was one track, right? There's one track that got me right away. I don't know about you, Kevin, but for me, it was
when we reviewed it, that was our top track.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
It's just something really cool about it. Marco, tell me about writing that track, because it's really strong.
Essentially, it was, the idea is because about of the music had to be something at the level of the idea of Einstein. So it's a genius, and you know, about atoms, about all the nuclear fusion and so on. So the idea in the beginning, it was how to start to imagine many atoms moving, particles. And so this is the reason why you listen in the beginning of the song, this Rhodes piano, that it's doing a very fast movement on the on sounds that are just like little particles, atoms which are moving. And all the song had to be that idea of something very difficult to catch in such a way. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the feeling at the base of composing, of course.
Oh, I totally hear it. Yeah, I 100% hear it. It's probably why my brain connected to it so fast. But yeah, leading up to this track, right, we go from being apes, right, and now we're the next track is about the last legionnaire, the fall of the great Roman Empire, and then we go to painting Mona Lisa. Now fast forward, we're in the realm of Albert Einstein and splitting the atom, nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, and really dawning of a new age. And the music really fits that theme, man. It's such a great track, and it's right in the middle of the album too, right where it belongs. It feels perfectly positioned. Are we playing it?
We're playing it.
Let's do it.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Just picture Einstein rocking out in his lab. See, that's why you buy it, people. So you get all that great artwork.
Copy's awesome, man. This booklet's
In
insane.
my restless mind's abyss, I sought the secrets, the cosmic twist, unraveling the universe's law, unveiling truths at its very core. But deep within, a conflict stirs, a knowledge gained, a world that blurs, a discovery that brought out both light and dread. Was it worth the path on which I tread? I stand alone, unveiling wonders, seeds I have sown. Yet shadows of doubt cloud my soul. Have I paid the price? Lost control.
And you know, this is the Ukrainian anthem. Just this minute.
Equations swirl, a symphony profound, revealing nature's rhythms, the world unwound. Glimpse of cosmic symmetries, yet burdened by their consequences. I freeze. A fusion of atoms,
So
a
cool.
boundless might, igniting the darkness, A different trajectory, a world redefined to ease the burden on my weary mind.
Oh, yeah. You know, we had a guy that came into our chat room yesterday because people hear about Prog Radio and they tune in for the first time. He came in, listened to a couple songs, and his comment was more of that post-Genesis crap. Bye-bye, or, well, you know, I'm out. Hello. This is what these people miss when they have that attitude. That amazing song we just heard.
That was great. I love the little tritone at the end of the song, you know, give everybody just that little bit of what was that? Why do you play that at the end? It's awesome. Great track. You know, that's the thing about listening to Samurai of Prog is, you know, you think in your mind, like in this alternate universe, these guys would be huge, right? They'd be taking these incredible, elaborate stories. Imagine these things on the road with like $1 million budget, you know, where you could do a whole stage presentation of, I don't know, Peter Pan or the Man in the Iron Mask or A Quiet Town on stage live. You could do the whole show. I mean, just amazing. The possibilities are endless. And when I listen to your music, it takes me to this alternate universe. And sadly, that's a world that'll never happen.
But in a way, I think that's why they're so great, because that's what they focus on is the music. Yeah. They're not doing a bunch of other things with the marketing, the touring. It's all about the music, and it shows.
Totally true, and even as a composer, I feel so free, so totally free. You know, progressive music, it's of course a free kind of music, but and so I can, if I want, I can compose for orchestra or for, I don't know, very, very hard instruments and so on. But what it's fantastic in Samurai of Prog is that I feel totally free, and I have to say that Kimmo and Marco, they are really fantastic because they live really totally free my ideas and my fantasy, and also the same with the other composers. For the other albums, it was exactly the same, and that it's, I think, what you were saying. We are just focusing on the music, on what it on the emotions of the music. Yeah. That
it definitely comes through.
Music is the instrument, but it's important that it's coming, all the emotions it's transferring to the listener.
Yes, for me the feel is everything. No matter how excellent the players are and the compositions, but if there is no feel, then there is not much for me. So that's number one for me.
Nice. You know, it would be remiss of me not to mention that we've got the great Scott G. Davis in the peanut gallery. There he is. His latest album is in the Prog Archives top 10. Did you see that, Kevin?
I did. All three of his albums have worked. He did that buy three thing, and I think everybody went out and bought all three, listened to them, and loved them all.
Nice. So congratulations on that. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And if you look back at Prog Archives of last year, what do we find? This album's amazing. Kimmo, you want to tell me a little bit about this record?
It's my second collaboration with talented Spanish musician Rafael Pasha. Sorry, Rafael, I'm not quite
such
still
a great
sure how to say
classical guitarist, but he's more than that, right? He's just a great musician.
He's multi-instrumentalist. He plays just about everything, and he has been helping me out very much with my solo album. So his part was so big that finally I decided that let's make an album together. I cannot call it Kimmo Pörsti's album anymore, and so we have made a couple albums together, and that's what we we made last year.
Number one on Prog Archives, boys and girls, for 2023. Yeah, look it up. Facts don't lie, man. You know, the cream always rises to the top sooner or later. So, you know, we take these small, insignificant little victories. They don't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things in the whole wide world, but they mean a whole lot to us prog lovers. And, you know, when we see something like that, it's got to feel kind of good getting a little bit of recognition, right?
Exactly, yes.
So next up in the story,
very humble and happy.
We get, you know, we go from Albert Einstein and we're splitting the atom and stuff. The next track is one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's called Moon. It's a complete instrumental and it's just dynamite. Really like that track. We can talk about Marco all day. There he is. There's the other Marco. He was going to come on, but that's all right. We still love you anyway. Then the next track after that is the piano instrumental about Nelson Mandela. Fantastic track. Really love that piece, Marco. Showing off his flying fingers left and right.
Sorry, excuse me. There is one problem with that track.
Yeah.
Serious problem. It's too short.
Yeah,
it's too short.
But
yeah,
there is a reason. It's written on.
Yes, I know.
Because every second of that composition, it's 1 year of Nelson Mandela, 1 year of the life of Nelson Mandela, and even the style that you feel that you can listen during the song. You know, there is a part where you can hear the sound of the first wedding and after the second wedding and so on. Or, for example, there is all the part of the center part after that I stroke all the keys together in this way. From that moment, it's starting all the period that he was in the prison. So every single second of that song in the year of his life.
Wow.
That's why it's just exactly 93, 94.
I know that, but it's so beautiful that it is still too short. You should have lived 200 years.
You have to live much more.
Well, it's Nelson Mandela's fault for not living to be as long as, you know, Methuselah, and we would have had a much longer piece, but it's amazing. But, you know, you're building up all this momentum on this record. It's one of the shortest albums you guys have ever done, actually, going through and looking at running times. I think there's one or two that are shorter, but it is one of the most economical albums you've ever done. And it's like barrel into this incredible finish. And, man, we don't disappoint with the final track. It's called Future. It features the one and only Christina Booth. From Magenta, whom we absolutely love here on the Prog Corner. And any words before we get it started?
Yeah, just it was the end of this journey. So how to not to think to the future, from the past to the present to the future. And the idea at the base of the song is it's possible today to imagine to create a new life for next years and so on. So in a so difficult periods, you know, of our human condition. So in the end, I think that in the words of the song, you can understand that probably it's something that really can help. I think. We think probably to create new lives and to try to make them to change this world for the future in a better way, better than what we were doing until now.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it, Marco. And Ian, absolutely. If you're talking about Spaghetti Epic 4, absolutely, man. That album is incredibly good. It's one of the best things Kimmo's ever been associated with. That album slaps so hard. The songs are incredible. So, yeah, if you see a CD copy of that, absolutely you pick that up because that's one of my all-time favorite Samurai of Prog related releases. Just dynamite. Yeah, man. So we ready to go, Kevin?
We're ready. So again, in the very first track, he's jumping in the machine and he says, I can't change the past. But then we get to the end and we realize it's not about changing the past. It's about changing the future.
Yeah.
In the haze of tomorrow's dawn, I wander through the unknown. A woman in the face of fate, embracing what's yet to be shown. Time's river flows, I'm carried away into the realms of what could be. The future's call, a siren song, beckoning me, enticing me. In the echoes of uncharted lands, I find the strength to face the fears. With every step I take a chance, embracing joys and shedding tears. Time's river roars, I'm swept away to the horizon shifting line.
Maria, man.
I'll dance on stars, conquer the night, writing my story, a grand design.
This is so cool. Maria playing with fake strings, right? Maria's playing the violin over the top of Marco playing the fake strings. And genius, man. It sounds so good. How much control does he have?
Highs and lows, I'll brave the undertow. With courage, I'll unfill my wings to face the ever-changing things. the trials and the tests, our eyes above, I'll give my best.
Bravo, Marco. In the cosmic dance of fate, I'll find my place. I won't hesitate through the trials and the tests. I rise above. I'll give This
my
part through here reminds me of one of my favorite musicals of all time, Spring Awakening. You've seen it. It's kind of
Nice. And that's how that thing ends, man. Awesome.
bravo.
Awesome stuff. Just incredible. I mean, people were commenting on Christina Booth's vibrato. Well, yeah, that girl's got more control in her voice than anybody else I've ever heard. It's ridiculous how she can just dial it up, dial it down, do whatever she wants to do. It's like an instrument to her. It's like,
Yes.
Marco playing the
Totally.
keyboard. Incredible. What a great track.
It's fantastic, yes. And the great guitar was by
Now,
Toni Jokinen, alias
That was
Toni
Tony all the way
Riveriman
through,
from
right?
Finland. Sorry?
Tony.
All that whole song was Tony, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He was going to town there on that one solo. I was checking. I'm like, I didn't know Tony could play like that. Oh my goodness! He's been with you for a couple of albums. He's been
Yes.
playing for a little while with you guys. So that
Yeah.
track right there, that's kind of like the core of the modern Samurai of Prog, right? Because you've got
Yes.
Marco, and Kimmo with Tony laying it down on guitar and Maria on violin, and we're good to go. Take
Exactly.
that thing on the road.
Yes, we are still very good friends with Steve Unruh, and we are
Steve, yeah.
eternally grateful for him. But unfortunately, he had to concentrate on other projects, so he is not the core member
Yeah.
of the Samurai of Prog anymore. but we have.
He's going to
certainly-
lose his title as the
Some
hardest
help.
working guy in Prague if he doesn't stick.
Just fantastic.
Unitopia. He's
Yeah.
just got so much going on. Resistor, all that
Yes.
stuff. So
He's so
yeah, but
talented.
he was on the Quiet Town. So we might see
Yeah,
him
yeah.
from
I
time
think he's
to
been
time.
on 16 of the 19
Yeah.
he's been on. So
That's an awesome number. I love it. So we got Kimmo Pörsti, Marco Grieco from the Samurai of Prog in here with us. We just listened to 3 tracks from the new album, The Time Machine, which came out October 25th. So it is available. I know a lot of my people, the vinyl people, always, sad, that there's no vinyl. Is that something you guys will ever do? Because I know everything's available on CD, so don't get it twisted. There is physical copies available, but it is CD. Any chance of a vinyl issue of something at some point?
Definitely, yes. The problem is, as you already said, the duration of the albums.
Yeah.
It seems to be impossible for us
Yeah.
to make an album under 40 minutes. But now we are getting smarter. As you said, our latest albums are not like 70 minutes anymore. It's better to have a good album with 55 or 60 minutes or even less, 50 minutes or so. And next year we will... it's almost 100% that we will release some vinyls next year. And we have been
Awesome.
considering if we should release some old albums, but the problem is that it's very difficult to take some songs off. So
Right.
we might produce some new albums in that way that we can have a version that is still coherent and working, and it's
Yeah, because that's
and then
really
we will
it,
have a
right?
CD.
It's
Excuse me,
either
then
you
we will have CD of 60 minutes, but they are both okay as their own. That's what we hope.
Well-
Like, for example, this, what can you take off? We wanted to have a vinyl of Quiet Town, but
Right.
it was impossible to take any of the tracks off because it everything is related to the story.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
We should have released a double vinyl, and I was a little scared to start with the double vinyl. I have to learn how to do mastering for vinyls, so
Yeah.
it will take some time.
Oh yeah, but you're right. It's that your choices are real limited. It's either chop Ben Craven's song off,
Yes.
or hey, we got to just kind of start from scratch and just do something else.
do the Marco trilogy, and if you spill between, and it ends up being 4 or 5, LPs, but people love their
sorry.
sets.
To me, it's
I
fantastic.
hope I don't
I'm ready.
I hope I don't reveal a secret, but we are quite far in planning that Marco Bernard's second solo album, Moby Dick, will be released on vinyl next spring. So that's
Nice.
what we are definitely planning. So
You heard it here first.
sorry,
Yeah.
Marco Bernard, if I told a secret, but now it's done.
He told me about it in a private email, so I didn't want to
good.
say anything. But so I'm glad you brought it up. He told me that vinyl will definitely be available on that. So vinyl's coming to the Seacrest Oil universe, right?
Exactly.
And that's something that I think will definitely help raise the visibility of the band a little bit, because there's some snobs like me out there that there's no vinyl, they're not a real band, and that's just that's sad.
Yes.
So what do you guys have planned for 2.0? Because I think this was 19, right? So
Yeah.
will your next Samurai will be 20? You got something planned already?
Marco Bernard has planned maybe about 5 or 6 albums ahead.
I would.
We will do, of course, collaborations with our wonderful guest Marco Grieco. We have something new coming on in a year or two, and then we are also planning on another album with Oliviero Lagagnina,
No.
for example. And right now we are working on the Guildmaster's third album.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah. We
it's
didn't even
already-
talk about that yet.
It's already 2.5 years since the last Guildmaster album, so we
Nice.
felt that now it would be time for the change to put something out. by the Guildmaster and Marco's solo album, and also we made these albums with Marco Bernard, La Tierra and Robinson Crusoe, and they were sold out faster than what I thought. So we have been planning that we might make a omnibus number 4, that it would include the Marco Bernard and Pörsti albums, Gulliver, Robinson Crusoe and La Tierra. So we might release that pretty soon, and we will, of course, as our habit, we will include some bonus tracks and maybe even some covers in that omnibus box.
Yeah, here's the Omnibus 3. Are there still copies of this available?
Yes, somebody was asking about the Spaghetti Epic, so it is included in that box, and we have tried to give that very reasonable price, so that it should be still available in about 20
Now these
bucks.
are great. These Omnibus, you get a fantastic booklet with it, plus each one comes like, in an individual, and it's even got its own little gatefold. These are not like El Cheapos, like a lot of box sets where you spend all that money and you're like, oh man, these cheap paper sleeves, I'll never play this. This is quality stuff. It's Samurai of Prog, so it's quality of music.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, talking about the Time Machine today, brand new one from the Samurai of Prog. What'd you count it, Kevin? Number 19. Their 19th album,
19.
featuring the one and only Marco Grieco, his 3rd album with the band. And Kimmo just told you there's a whole bunch of exciting stuff happening in Samurai of Prog world, and anything we can do to help promote and support this incredible band, I'm more than happy to do it. And this album is a real fine addition to the Samurai of Prog catalog, with the ever-growing, the ever-enlarging discography of the Samurai of Prog. And, before I forget, I'm real bad about stuff. And this is the time of year where, there's not that much time left before the year-end lists start coming up, right? So now I'm going to be scrambling to do album reviews on stuff, bookkeeping and loose ends and stuff. So I may forget, but if I do, man, Kevin, have we heard this one yet?
Oh yeah, it's a great album.
Right, you're playing it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. This is a band from France. They just sent me the CD a couple days ago. They're called Oddleaf. It's their debut album. I know Nathan on Shuffle did an album review for it. Marcel over at Live Prog. What is he, Dutch? Is he like in the Netherlands or something? One of those Euros. He did a review of it. But this thing's dynamite. So, yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out because I may not get around to reviewing everything I want to review. There's so much great stuff like planned at the end of the year. You've got your Opeths and your Beard Fishes and your Neil Morses and all this stuff happening at the end of the year. Add one more to your list, man. It's the Samurai of Prog, the Time Machine on Seacrest Oi, available on streaming. Can you do like a digital download kind of thing? You can do it that way. Or the CD, of course. Do you have this up on Bandcamp?
No. Unfortunately, it's at the moment it's only on physical CD.
Okay, the CD is out. It's such a great package, man. I mean, you get your money's worth. You get the whole booklet. Even the CD comes in its own little CD pouch, man. So.
What you can do too, if you go to the Prog Radio's review, there's a link to where you can buy it, and it's basically an email. Send them an email, and then they'll send back to you where the best place for you to get it is, because they have lots of distributors.
Yeah, it's maybe a little complicated, but I'm telling you, it's worth it, man. Yeah, okay, is it a little bit harder to get your hands on the Samurai of Prog music than it is Taylor Swift music? Yeah, probably a little bit more so. But trust me, boys and girls, it's totally worth your time, totally worth the effort. Ian says that Amazon has some of the Samurai CDs, but costing a little bit. Hey, they're out there. Go on Discogs, go on Seacrest Away. You'll find it. The music is worthwhile. Absolutely. And Maria says, congratulations, Samurai. Oh, there you go. You know what time it is. They've made the big time. You guys know how much I love these guys. Kimmo, an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. I've been a fan for a long, long time. Marco, man, this has been awesome. Congratulations. What a great 1-2 punch. The guy wrote this. And then what was it, like 9 months later you come out with this? How does the guy write so much music in such a short amount of time? Just crazy.
And I'm working on next.
And working on another one. So thank you guys so much for being here today. It was an absolute pleasure, an absolute honor. Kevin, as always, I hope this was a good showing over there on Prog Radio.
Yeah,
we are simulcasting this.
And I just want to mention one thing, huge thing coming to Prog Radio.
Ooh.
We're just teasing with it. We're not going to tell you what it is, but it's the Crimson Hall and the Wizard's Forest. And we're not even going to have any shows next week. No Cody, no Tara, anything. Maybe for 2 weeks, because it's a big change and we're rolling it out and we're excited about that. It's a good change. People are going to love it.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That should be fun. The graphics got my attention. And you know what else is going on? We're past our allotted time, boys and girls, so some of us got some things to do on a Sunday. I don't know what could possibly be more important than talking about prog rock with your friends on a Sunday afternoon, but I got one idea. Maybe we could dance with snakes, boys and girls. Oh, yeah. The snake dancing part of the program is now commenced. Oh, yeah, let's dance with some snakes. These rattlesnakes have got the poison of Satan in them. But I say, renounce all evil, renounce Satan, boys and girls. Listen to prog rock. Your life will be a whole lot better. Peace and good. God, I'll see ya.